Hey guys, and welcome to yet another speed build. Woo, it's been a long time since I did that. Happy New Year. Is it too late to say that? I think it is. We're with the 10th of February, but I'm sorry. Welcome back to the channel. I've been away for like a month and a half, and I'm finally back with a speed build. It's long awaited. I think I was teasing this last year on the community tab, and I'm so sorry that it's taken this long. I've never had such a long gap in starting the exterior and doing the interior of a build, but this one I started way back, I think October, November time. I think it was probably November I started this build, and then I started making CC and all hell broke loose basically. Yeah, a lot has changed since then, and this just got delayed, so the interior never happened, and I really don't like to release the first part unless I've already kind of completed the house and it's just the editing of the video for the second part that has to be done. So this house is completely finished. It is going to be up for download on Tumblr. There should be a link in the description for you to download it. The CC that is used in this build is by Felixander, I think you can tell, and also by myself. Thank you. I'm now a CC creator. Well, they're recolors by me. They are base game recolors, so you're all good there. You don't need anything extra for that. And the link for that will be all in the Tumblr post. I'll link to the sets that you need. I'm not too sure if I use both of my sets. I basically made recolors to match Felix's new Georgian content, but I'm not too sure if I used the first set. I think maybe just the second set. I was like, I need to wait to do the interior of this until I have the second set done. So yeah, please forgive me. I must just say a quick word of warning on the arches there that I've placed behind the doors to the building. Your Sims can't walk through them, so you're going to need to delete them. First thing you're going to need to do is actually, no, wait for that. That's delete it if you get it off the gallery. If you use the Tumblr post, I will do an updated version with those removed. And also because I forgot a mailbox. You know, all this detail in the build and then you forget the basics, like a mailbox. So I loaded the lot again and I was like, why is there a mailbox in the corner by the pool? It's like, this is slightly wrong. But yeah, welcome. So, of course, with a build like this, I have had to break it into two parts. This is the exterior. The interior will be happening within the next week, I think. I'm not sure if I'm just going to keep Sundays as speed builds, so maybe you'll have to wait till next Sunday. I'm not too sure. I'm not 100%, but yeah. The interior is finished, so you can download the build. You don't have to wait for the second part. It's already up on the gallery and on Tumblr, all the links and all that jazz. But yes, I loved building this. The exterior was so much that you know, the interior was, I don't know if I was slightly worried to do the interior because the exterior just turned out so good, like beyond belief good, and you know, the interior just kind of needed to live up to the exterior, if you get what I mean. So this building is based on a German villa, and the reason I decided to do this super ornate building was so I was talking to Felix and he's like, Sam, you never do super ornate huge castle builds with my content. I always kind of do villas, like just nice family homes is what I'd call a villa. Slightly larger than normal, you know, we've got lots of money family home. And he was like, yeah, I want to see like a super complicated build from you. This is it. So this is the super complicated build. I'd still call it a just slightly larger than normal family home. Well, it is a mansion, we're not gonna lie. It's on a 64 by 64 lot here in Delso Valley. At the moment you'll see it's on the 50 by 40 lot, you know, where the Ward family lives, but it does move. I tried to do it on a smaller lot and I just couldn't do it, okay? I had to move it to 64 by 64 and It happened, it was a thing. But luckily my landscaping isn't too complicated in this one, so I wasn't cursing myself. But yeah, I've kept all this first part in to make sure you could see all of the detailing that I did, and because this is, I suppose, the main focus of the building. So I wanted to make sure that you saw everything that I did in this bit. There will be quite a bit cut out of, I don't know, the side wings and stuff, but I wanted to make sure you could see everything that went into doing this. And I just want to repeat, lots of people are like, how do you build like this? Start. Just start. As you can see, everyone starts off from an empty lot and we just gotta build on it. So talking of how do we start, I definitely want to bring tutorials to the channel. By the way, this is what I've been thinking for a while, on how I take an inspiration image into a full-on build. In case you don't know, I always have inspiration images. To be quite honest, I don't know how people build without inspiration images because I just feel like they keep you a little bit more honest and make sure that you have a direction, or even if it was that you sketched it out first, I think that's a little bit better, because if I just started playing around with a house, just, you know, put a box down and started playing around, I think my house would end up looking very awful. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I think it would be not so great. But yeah, I always have an image, and I'm definitely going to sit down one weekend and to record all of the parts of the tutorial series, and it'll be a nice little cute house just to show how I take inspiration into like the finished end product. I did start a tutorial series last time, and terrain tools happened, so loads of the warnings that I said about inspiration images don't even matter anymore, because there's a few little cheats that you can do to kind of fix it all. So yeah, I just need to redo that. Also, I have had so many questions about reshade on that video, and I need to do an updated reshade tutorial because we're now on reshade 4.0. We've moved on a little bit. At the moment, I think I build this entire lot in Light Brigade, my preset, and then you'll see that the fly through at the little preview at the beginning and the fly through at the end is done with another preset that is actually not my preset. It's called Silent Hill, just in case you were wondering. I do get actually asked that a lot. They're like, what is this preset? It's called Silent Hill. Somebody else made it, and I just removed lots of the effects that I didn't want and somehow made something else that was quite stunning in its own right. I really like the desaturated colours, the depth of field. I do have to apologise because the depth of field changes as I was doing the fly through, so it kind of flickers between being blurry in the front and blurry in the back, if you get what I mean. And I should have just made the depth of field static so the background was always blurry, but that just came to me now sitting here, not when I was doing the fly through. But anyway, we're probably in a second going to take a skip because the this part is kind of done now. When I'd done this bit, I knew I was onto a winner chicken dinner, but I still had to continue and do the rest of the build. And I just want you to feel my pain slightly in this, that I did this, I could copy quite a bit across, but then I always had to fix it. And I realised that I had mucked up by like one tile when I got to the back of the house, so I had to move everything out by one tile, and oh my god, yeah, the pain was real, so real, but it was worth it. It's completed. I have to say, I think this is my best build yet. I'm pretty sure this is my best build ever. It's a good way to start 2019 then, with your best build. Well, I think it's my best build. I don't know if you think it is, but yeah, it's looking good. I am so happy with how it turned out, and I think the actual original build, can I just say, had a really disgusting like back side to the build. So I decided to take my creative license and copy the front to the back, because I don't know if you've noticed in all of these 64 by 64 lots, for some reason they're always lit from the back of the lot. So it's the garden, there's more emphasis on the garden than there is on the front of the house, which is great for a lot like this, because you know you have the whole landscapes below and all the hills and everything, but for some reason, I don't know, every single 64 by 64 lot we have is lit from the back. So I needed to make sure that the back of the house had serious landscaping goals. So we've now moved to the 64 by 64 lot. I did a bit of terrain tools. I think this is the first lot I ever did terrain tools on, so it was a bit of a learning curve. With terrain tools, I do find, of course, it takes me even longer to build than usual. Praise me. But yeah, you can see the house has really come together. I do end up changing the roof. I really liked this, but I thought it looked, let's think, this greeny blue roof, I really loved it, and it kind of reminded me of the Natural History Museum here in London, and I really like that vibe. I wasn't going for a Gothic revival vibe, it's not Gothic revival, so we decided to switch it to red, and I think the red roof looks gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. So yeah, we stick with red in the end, and with the reshade it looks stunning. The Silent Hill preset, I must say, you can't use it for gameplay, it's just impossible. And also lots of times when you find with certain reshade presets, they only look good in tab mode, so that definitely means you can't use them for gameplay. I think I should try and recreate the Silent Hill one for gameplay, just keep the essence of the whole desaturated colours and go with it. But yeah, I love it. What am I doing here? Oh, I didn't realise I kept all this in. Yeah, I had to go around and put all of these fences along the top line of the roof. I think maybe I didn't know, that was just a test. I left it there. I do put that roof all the way around the top of the roof, and then I fill in the roof with tables. That is the trick that I always use. I fill in the roof with tables to make it flat, because we've already gone up, I think I went up more than another level there, so I didn't want the flat part of the roof to be kind of sunk in, so I always put tables in. There is another one now, I think the pavement, I think Felix was doing this, the pavement decorative item that came with Get Famous. It's very good for filling in roofs now, just pro tip. But yeah, I want to keep this bit in to show you the development and how I put the towers on, and also how I kind of just played around and added detail to the windows that I put here. I didn't have any plan, I just kind of got out a few items and wanted to see how they went together. This was a feature that was on the original, and I just went round and put all these. I'm pretty sure these are going to stay where they are. I don't think they drop. I think the only things that normally drop in a build when you place it are wall items that aren't placed on walls. They don't seem to want to be just floating in the air. So but yeah, I'm just happy. I'm happy this is finished, and I'm happy. I've got to say, I've never played in one of my lots that look like this, so I think I should play in this one instead. Just have fun and use it, and I just can't wait for the next build. There will definitely be a build up very soon on the channel. In case you don't know, I used to be on Twitch as well. I recently decided to stop live streaming on Twitch because I want to pursue making CC, and something had to give, so that's something that had to give was Twitch, unfortunately. As fun as a time it was amazing. I met so many people on Twitch, actually way more than I had done before being on just YouTube and Twitter. And you kind of really get to know people when you're live streaming. And but yeah, I had to put an end to that. I think my last stream was like a week and a half ago. Yeah. And so now I'm learning to mesh objects. I'm gonna start actually tomorrow doing all of my tutorials and doing it. I'm gonna be making CC. It's gonna be on Patreon, but check out, just stay tuned to the channel. I'm definitely gonna be doing like sneak peeks and previews or like showcases for my custom content, and there will be a kitchen. That's all I'm gonna say. There will be a kitchen. I know in the game everyone's just like, these kitchens stink, to be quite honest. And the kind of, we've got maybe Peacemaker that does kitchens, but of course, you know, he's one person. You can't expect him to make 5 million kitchens. They are a lot of work. In case you didn't know, if you want to make a kitchen, just the counters alone have 10 different meshes, because of course there's like the regular straight, there's the end piece on the right, the end piece on the left, the corner piece, the inside corner piece, the outside corner piece. There's so many variations of a counter that you have to make 10 meshes for just a counter. Then you have to make another 7 meshes for the island version, and then you have to make another 7 for the cabinet. So it is a hell of a lot of work, and that's basically why EA doesn't release kitchens every week. But yeah, I definitely want that to be one of my specialties, be kitchens and bathrooms, because I know we keep on getting these stupid amount of toilets in the game, but the new items they seem to add never seem to be what I'm looking for, if you get what I mean. I'd like more modern bathrooms, definitely going to be a modern edge, a big contrast to what currently I'm building. I would have loved to maybe do a modern interior into this build. I really like the whole juxtaposition of old with new. That's my personal taste. Either that or just modern. I don't really particularly like super traditional interiors. This one we decided to go with it because I think, look, it goes. So sometimes you got to do traditional, and this was one of them. But yeah, this landscaping is pretty simple. I think I cut out, I did this here, and then I was like, oh god, there isn't a swimming pool. I was like, how can you have this big a lot and not have a swimming pool? So we had to get rid of that extra fountain that was on the left hand side and put in a swimming pool, and the swimming pool was in itself a trial. And I cut out, but I think I did like 3 different roofs on the swimming pool before I just went for the really simple glass roof to cut out. But yeah, I kept in here this landscaping. The house is slightly on a hill, on a mound, but it comes down quite smoothly back to the kind of, I don't know, default level, and that really kind of helped to make this landscaping blend in with the house. I definitely want to go here. Went tropical with the landscaping. Again, I feel like I had Natural History Museum in my head for some reason. I don't know why, but I love the idea of palm trees with this super classical exterior. So that's what we went with. Loads of overgrown stuff. Jungle Adventures is definitely probably a must in here. I think I've used lots of Jungle Adventure plants, and also I think cats and dogs I've used as well for the landscaping. And I'm really happy with the way it turned out. I know I say this a lot, but sometimes you just gotta say what you mean, and I'm really happy with the way this turned out. I'm gonna be on the lookout for another build that I can do that is gonna top this, but this is gonna stay as my personal favorite for quite a long time, and I'm even happy with the way the interiors turned out. So praise Jesus for this build, because it's just, I think it's stunning. I think it's even good in this light. The lighting in Del Sol Valley is really interesting because the morning light is very dramatic shadows. I love the morning light in Del Sol Valley on this lot. Daytime, I think it's a little bit too bright, maybe. It's quite extreme. But then the evening light is so dramatic. The evening light is, the shadows are purple, like full on purple. It's almost like the light is gold and then the shadows are purple. So it's so, like, we're going to call it regal, which goes very well with this whole lot. So we've already swapped now to this next section, which is going to be the swimming pool. Got rid of the fountain, and yeah, we did this pool. It's going to skip. It's going to make me look like a genius for doing the roof really, really quickly. But don't be fooled. It took me forever. And I'm pretty sure I end up putting trim. Yeah, I put the trim to match the house along the edge of this swimming pool. There's actually more of this swimming pool footage left in than I thought, which is good. So yeah, but I think this lot deserved 2 parts, which is why it's split into 2 parts. I didn't want to rush and cut out so much of this that you just didn't see how I did the exterior. I really thought it was important to keep that first bit completely uncut, and you can see how I did like the front facade and gable roofing and everything. So yeah, I'm just super happy. There was so many screenshots I could have got from this lot. If you can, you can see here, this is the evening light and the shadows are purple, and the lighting in Delta Valley, I've got to say, is beautiful. It's a favorite of mine, I think, and I definitely need to play in this world more often. I think I have my sim self living in here, but of course my sim self is not rich AF yet. I'm pretty, comfortable, but I'm in the CC free build that I did for the Get Famous review. That's where my sim self is living, and that's like down in the cheap area, you know that cheap area, Delta Valley. I'm living there. We haven't quite made our way up to this. Oh, speaking of making our way up to this, just in case you were wondering, this build has 3 bedrooms, 5 bathrooms. It's got like a music room, a study, all that jazz, but it will cost you 2.25 million simoleons. Yeah, that's a thing. Also, there is a lot of content put in this, so if you haven't got the greatest graphics card or computer specs, your computer may struggle just a little bit with it. Mine runs very, very smoothly, but as I said, I went OTT with my computer specs when I was buying a gaming PC, and mine's just fully loaded. But yeah, it may struggle, but I think it'll be worth it, to be honest. That's all I'm gonna say. But yeah, 2.25 million is, that's the most expensive maybe I've made. I did have fun. I was like, let me put another knight in armor statue in. It will cost like another, what was it? I think they're 16,000. Are they 16? No, they're 8,000 for a statue. So I was like, yeah, let's put in another statue. Let's just increase the price a little bit. I'm sorry. I have never used a family in The Sims that has earned 2.25 million. You may have. Let me know if you actually have a legit family that could go in here. Maybe you're a generational player, and so by generation, I don't know, 5, you've probably got that amount of money, to be quite honest. If you play your families like me, then definitely. My families always end up being very, very rich, because normally I sell paintings, and you sell paintings, you're basically a millionaire. Or I start up a shop in a retail lot in The Sims is a great way of making money. You just sell the violins and you just get loads of money, and you're good to go. But yeah, so I'm still putting the final touch to the landscaping. I think I originally took out this footage, but I added it back in because I want to show this little seating area here that has the awning. There's a fire pit in there. I'm pretty sure it's a very big safety hazard. But and it's got my signature candles everywhere. in case you didn't know, that was my signature. If it is the first video you're ever watching of mine, welcome. Plenty more of these to come. Tutorial videos, that is the aim for this year. Tutorial videos, dream home videos, basically. I think there's plenty of people on YouTube doing like suburban builds and family homes, so I think my niche should be these dream ridiculous houses. So I think that's what we're going to stick with. So yeah, expect more of them. I think the next one is definitely going to be I have another build recorded, which is a Peacemaker kind of dream Brindleton Bay home. Only Peacemaker CC used. So I just got to edit that video and put that up. So that should be up within the next couple of weeks. And then I think we'll move on to Georgian content. I really need to do a Georgian house. Felix has released more Georgian content. So I need to do a Georgian house. I think we'll keep it onto a 40 by 30 lot and be nice to myself for once. And yeah, that's the aim. And then of course we'll do a huge 64 by 64 lot, because otherwise I'd disappoint myself and everything. Right, we're coming to the end of this. Once again, this is available for download. The Tumblr link is in the description. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoy the fly through. Bye guys.